Like,
They love to explore. They're just think about the regular teenager or preteen or young
yes.
person. They're vibrant. They're hilarious. They're talented. They're the future. And every time I get a chance to interact with them, they give me hope.
Well, I hope they give you hope to get married and have children. Because I can tell that this village is your family.
Absolutely.
All right. We got the signal to take a break because we've reached the 7:30 hour. Can you believe it? We've been talking for half an hour.
Wow.
All right. Stay with us. We're going to be right back.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
Hello, welcome back to the Morning Connection. So I have a mango that I'm gonna raffle. No, it came from the tree here. So it's kind of soft on one side. But I would give it to Mama. I would not give it to you young girls who need to climb your own mango trees.
Wow.
And then because I give it to the mother, she's going to share. One of the most stirring memories of my childhood is like waiting on my mom to come home. So, of course, my mother had 7 kids. And I'm number 3. So most of my childhood memories, like maybe 5 of us are there. The last 2 are much younger, but I always remember how we would kind of gather at the door when she's coming and watch her come over, and of course you're gonna be shouting because your mother come home, and then she always had something in her handbag. I've watched my mother bite the ice cement to give everybody a little piece. It don't matter what she can. Well, you know how children are. She cannot come in if she not bring something, because half the excitement is that she brought something. And I look back at it and I thought, oh my God, wherever she went, she had to remember that when she go home, there's gonna be this excitement around her foot, and they're gonna be saying, "What you bring?" If it's an icy mint, she bite it up and share it. So I have no doubt you have those kinds of experiences in the house.
Well, if you indulge me,
Yes, you have a story.
I do. And I grew up. I have 2 older siblings, so I'm the
Yes.
wash belly. And one of the memories that come to mind is when we would get home from school, my older brother, so the middle child, he would come home and make these sandwiches for us.
Is that the chef one?
So get to
I want to hear this.
because I have beef, right? So he would make these sandwiches, and he'd put sausage and cheese, and then sprinkle Italian herbs on top, because that's how our mother taught him, right?
Yes.
So this is years and years. We'd walk home from school and we'll have that until mom or dad comes home. Now, he is executive chef at the R Hotel. That same
Sandwich.
is on the menu. And I'm like,
What is it called?
I don't even remember.
Oh, I thought he named it.
Purchase that if I want you to make it for me. And he's like, well, that's what happens when you have 15 years of experience.
And you gave him that experience. Because if you first
him could have killed me off.
so now we have to go to the R Hotel to experience Chef Lumley's what is it called?
I have no idea.
I'm sure it have some
Just
exotic
ask for
name.
Chef Lumley and tell Chef Lumley that you need to give you that sandwich that he needs to make for him.
That he practiced on when you were all in school. So you have a memory or you have a real experience now that is mother current.
Because I grew up with my grandmother and 4 aunts around me. I was the first grandchild, so you know how that go.
Yes.
Everything them pinch put in my mouth.
All right. So so you know what I'm talking
Yes, I
about.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So basically, that lives within me. So I have to share with them.
With the,
And
yes.
my personal things, I don't left them out. If
In
I
fact,
buy
you don't have no
one-
personal things.
Like if I go out, suppose I go out on the road
Yeah.
and I feel like I want a catch, or because I love, I kind of love the
Little
sweet
chocolate snacks.
So I will cut it when I come in, and I will make sure everybody
Get a
of it.
piece. How many kids are in your house?
I have two children.
2.
But
Yeah.
they are adults now.
Yes.
They are
Okay.
adults now.
So you practice on them like Chef Lumley.
Yes, with no
so
regrets. No regrets.
Well, let me tell you, man, I believe it's one of the most satisfying jobs you can have to have the care of someone younger that you can pour into. And I get into teacher mode quite often myself, just wanting to share. And that's the foundation of the giving. What about you?
So
You're not all professional. You must have some. It's the mango, Stephanie. You can't jump like that. The mangoes fall here like,
right. So
from
for
the sky.
me, when you mentioned the ice mint,
Yes.
I went straight to being in church with my mommy, because of course there's no being in church without mint ball or ice mint.
There you go.
Of course, I'm no wash belly, of course, so the ice mint or
Pure wash belly up here
the ice
and
mint,
first granddaughter.
yes,
please.
the ice mint or the mint ball that will share between myself and my niece and my nephew,
And
So
anybody
all of
who,
that are shared.
and anybody who look and see that something is being shared. Yeah.
Bite, piece, and share.
Let me
Just
tell
like
you, man,
communion. Yep.
absolutely, it is the right place to practice it. So it's good to know that, I mean, you all come out of family situations that motivate you one way or another to be excellent at what you're doing in the village. Let me ask you a housekeeping question, kind of. How do you choose persons to come in as caregivers, you have to do like police, they have to bring police record, and you have to check them for.
Definitely, most definitely.
Tell us how you vet, especially even volunteers too, because I know a lot of people want to help, and I think they need to know that there are some standards.
Okay, so for the caregivers, for the mothers, it's so the general recruitment. You know, you have to apply for the position. You know, after interviews, definitely, police record is a requirement. We have to do that, and of course, you know, you'll be preparing meals for the children, so you have to have a food handler's permit. So, and also character reference check. All of that is done for all the staff, not just the mothers, all the staff. Because guess what? Everyone has to interact with the children no matter what.
So is there any government regulation that stipulates any standards for you, or you have to create your own and just abide by them?
So of course, for CPFSA, there's the standard of care that we have to go by. So there are guidelines for admissions down to, you know, if there's an incident, everything.
Reporting
basically.
requirements.
And of course, for SOS, we have a number of policies, you know.
We're
Yes.
a university.
Yeah, and you are part of a global network.
Yes,
so I guess
exactly.
you have
So
governance.
we have local and global standards that we must adhere to. It is not an option, which is why the SOS difference stands out among other childcare institutions in Jamaica, because we do not hold ourselves to the bare minimum standard. We always try to exceed what the
Whatever is
global
required
standard,
locally. So
requires of us.
let me ask you a funny-ish kind of question. Suppose I have a house that I want to donate to the village, or would you co-opt and like an existing facility? You know, I'm speaking now to the persons who are thinking,
Yes.
this house, I'm not leaving it to my grandson, come and mash it up.
Yeah.
I'm not doing so and so. And what you want to do is gift it to be included in. Do you have homes that exist like outside of the tight village unit?
Well, let me just
Give me
say
that scenario.
before Hillary tells us about the transition care facility.
Ah, yes.
We do bequests. You know, it's a very touchy topic. It's very not touchy. It's very sensitive.
Not for the person who dead and gone.
No, but we have very good relationships with our donors, our committed donors. One donor on average stays with us, contributes to us for 9 years or more. So what tends to happen is some donors, especially ones who live both in Jamaica and overseas, they may have a property and they would state in their will, my wish is for SOS Children's Village Jamaica to be gifted with X, Y, and Z.
property,
So it
yes.
may be the property, it may be part proceeds from the
sale of the property, yes.
But we give thanks. We are very, very grateful. For
And I'm
those
sure you
donors
encourage
who-
it.
Of course,
Yes.
and those donors who, in life, have us in their hearts, to think of us that way.
Yes.
It is something that we are deeply appreciative of, and we encourage people to speak with us, call our national office, speak to anybody, at any staff member at SOS Jamaica, and they will direct you, and you will be taken care of.
All right. So I'm going to give some thought to it and see how I can add words of encouragement to persons, because there are many persons at a particular age and they have property and they know that that property not going to be put to no good use.
Yes.
If SOS Children's or any children's home is open to taking care and setting it up as a home that can deal with what now? The transition house. I love the idea of the transition house.
Yeah.
What did we see? In the papers a few weeks ago, there was a young man complaining that he had been assaulted, sodomized repeatedly by men who picked him up off the street in Spanish Town. A homeless young man, and he said that he had been living on the streets for maybe about 5 or 6 years. He had aged out at a state institution and had no home, which I maybe got to 18. I heard you say like 23, or you get your kids through college like any other family. But he had been homeless since, and these men abused him, and he was taken in. I think he contacted a retired police officer from the neighborhood, and she got him some help, and she was appealing to persons to, if they, because he needed work, and I mean, just horrible. And, he was still in pain and so on and so forth. So that tells me there is a need, even persons coming out of state care, where they might be inflexible, and when you're 18, on the morning that you're 18, your little bag is at the door. And
that's not so SOS children ages.
Well, I don't know how they do it.
That clear.
Because Hillary is dying to tell us about transition houses.
Go ahead.
Okay, so thankfully we have some donors who, it allows for the children and the young people to acquire some form of saving while they're in care, right? So at that stage when you're transitioning into independent living, you're going to have to secure rent. You have to secure a security deposit when you're renting somewhere. You have to sleep on a bed.
You have to buy furniture.
You have to buy furniture. I mean, coming out of state care, how are you going to acquire all of that for yourself? You understand?
Yes.
So they have a bit of a saving that they can go back to try and acquire those things that they will need. I mean, grant you, not all of them have that because they have different sponsors or donors. So not everyone will have the same amount, but the truth is there are persons out there who provide that type of a support for the children in our care. And we do appeal to others to donate to us.
Yes. And it seems now that one way that persons can assist is if you have extra space in your house, if you can have independent living or part-time independence. I'm just thinking, if you say you have a 5-bedroom house and 3 bedrooms are not in use, could someone who is coming out of, who's just moving into independence, can be a boarder or a tenant or some sort as they are kind of moving their way out? Or if you have a whole house that the village can use as part of their transition. I see Hillary thinking about it deeply.
Yeah, because it's somewhat kind of touchy, really, but the truth is, if we do have citizens who, they are extending that type of support, it would be lovely.
And you'd figure it out how to make it safe. So let me ask you now, when the kids,
I like that term.
Yes, because it's safety, and I know that has to be a primary consideration. When they are 18 years old and they're adults and able to make their own decisions, how do you what do you do for them to, do they volunteer to stay? They have to sign something? I mean, how do they just stay? Tell me what it's like. It's my 18th birthday and I'm in house number 1.
So no, it's not a contract or anything like that.
So the mother come to me and say, well, now minute. The time has come.
Now it's 12. I have to go at sunrise.
Yes.
No.
What is there a speech that I would get?
No, man, no. So of course, majority of them, when they reach 18, there's this hype and there's this, I'm an adult now,
Yes.
There's that, but there's also a plan that you work through with that young person, The important thing is for them to identify what it is that they want for themselves and to help them to work towards that.
Okay.
So, it's not you're 18 now, so what you gotta do, It's a plan from earlier age, because you're going through high school. After high school, what is it going to be?
So are they separated like the older kids? Do they have their own house?
So all right, so we have the family houses and we have the youth house.
Yes.
The youth house is normally 15 and older lives in the youth house, because of course, you know, sometimes the younger ones and the older ones might not, you know,
The conflict.
there's a greater level of privacy that
Just
is
like
needed
school
around.
and home.
Cool,
At
yeah.
home, yeah.
The older kids feel they are so advanced, so much more mature, and they have different interests.
Yes,
So they
yes.
don't want to mix with the younger ones, and the younger ones can be annoying and
Yeah.
get in.
Yes, yes,
stuff.
and don't
think
come
they
into
need
my
their
room.
privacy.
And don't come into my room.
Yes, the mother knows best.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do need
Need
privacy.
their privacy. They are growing. They are exploring their personalities, and they need that privacy.
And of course, it gives them room for, you know, development. So at, you know, your late teens into adulthood, you know, you're going to learn to prepare your meals,
Your meals,
you know,
yes,
that type
and
of thing.
Keeping it, your
going
room
to learn
clean
what a
and so
budget
on.
is.
You're going to
And
learn
how
what
to
a budget
budget,
is. You're going
right.
to learn how to shop. You
So
know?
let me ask mommy the question of the morning. Dating and relationships.
Hey.
Hey. What? How?
Well, with mine,
Yes.
that I have.
Bring your
inside the
mic up,
house,
yes.
You know, I talked to her about it, but I don't know if she's denying it, but it's not of her interest.
Yes, yeah. Well, some of us
she's-
are late bloomers, you know.
Yeah,
You've been sitting at this table.
She's not interested, but I think somewhere along the line,
Yes.
and I could guide her on some of that.
Yeah. So you have
When
to be
she's ready.
right. You have to be prepared for that.
Yes.
What are the official guidelines now?
So,
Because though they are siblings by covenant, they are not siblings by blood. So what happens? How are you able to keep them respectful of the distances and so on that need to be observed?
the truth is, we don't have that issue really,
No, we
because
don't.
growing up in SOS, you're brought up as
Brother
your
and sister.
brother and your sister.
It would be incest.
It would be. It is not, because
Yes.
as you said, by
Yes.
blood they're not related. But the truth is, that's how they grow up.
Yeah.
It's your brother and it's your sister. It's really how they grow up.
That's wonderful.
I will kind of instill that in them.
in them. So it's what you teach them.
Yes.
Every time we're here saying you reap what you sow. So if you're not planting the right crop, please don't wake up with your basket ready to get something different from what you've put in.
Very wise word.
Yeah. All right. So let me see where we are on this side. We have like 7 minutes. I'm consulting my producer. I want us to cool down the conversation we've been having here. Of course, I am gifting my mango to Mother Opal.
Thank you very much.
First gift of the day. I have pledged my mango.
Thank you. Thank you very
Yes. For the no, it's Mother Opal. Did you try Opal?
much. Here, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I am going to share this mango.
And you know, like if it was in my house, somebody would be waiting on the mango seed. Somebody's gonna. It was never me, but I know how things get shared up. Mother Opal, I bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving love to our children. I want you to give me one story, the greatest joy and the most difficult experience you've had in that job.
All right. The greatest joy is seeing them grow.
Yes.
Watching them grow.
Yes.
I really don't have any disappointment because I think I can handle it. I can deal with it.
Most challenging, not disappointment, because just challenging. Which one tests you to the limit and you had to dig deep?
Can I call names?
No.
No, I can't call names.
No, just give me an example of a thing that you have to dig
all right.
deep.
For example, if I'm going out this morning,
Yes.
so maybe I would get up like a little bit
A little earlier.
and I tell him from yesterday that I'm going out this morning, so I need to get up, and that one would get up and and start to spread and him go when you reach up here, because you have to downstairs and upstairs. Now if I'm alone, if the aunt is not there, but when the aunt is there now, she would be in the kitchen and you upstairs, because every day basically you have to tell some of them the same thing. Get up, brush your teeth. Go
Oh,
and do this.
yes,
So when
oh,
you go
yes.
downstairs, go and prepare the meal down. Then up there,
Somebody got back and do that.
I know.
I know.
That part of it. Yeah, that part of it.
So you have whole heap of patience.
Yes, up the stairs, down the stairs. Up the
Yes,
stairs,
yes,
down
saying the
stairs.
same thing. Like it's a surprise. Every morning you have to get up, get dressed, brush teeth, whatever. School. With my 15-year-old, when he was much smaller, like you act like it's a surprise that there's bedtime. Every night you have to go to your bed. There's to be no crying because he never wanted to let go of the day. What about you, Miss Hillary?
For
Greatest
me-
joy and the most challenging.
All right, so greatest joy.
Greatest joy.
Greatest joy. You being at the village, interacting with these children, you see like some of the greatest transformations. And when I say transformation, I mean like behavior wise.
Yes.
You'll meet a youngster who, on the outside is just rough edges, And then for me, because this is my 5th year at Stony Hill, and I've experienced, interacting with a child who very poor behavior. And today, it is a different youngster.
person. Yes.
It is a totally different youngster. So for me, that's
the greatest joy.
the greatest joy
Yes,
to
yes,
experience that change in a child, maturing into a young adult.
As you pull the best out of them.
Hey, that's
All
it for
right.
me.
All right.
That's
So
it
now
for me.
greatest challenge.
Greatest challenge. Listen. The reasons why children come into care.
There's to be no crying on the morning connection.
Listen.
Only the host is allowed because I've cried. But I see you getting there. You're seeing something. What were you seeing a while ago?
Every Mother's Day,
Yes.
I get emotional.
Yes.
I do. And that is because, they don't have their biological family. They don't
Yeah.
have their biological mother. I get emotional every
I see
time.
it. I see it. And
Every
there's a
time.
hunger for it because no matter how much love Auntie Opal give, there's that curiosity and a hunger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's that trauma for them.
Yeah.
Being
Yes.
separated from their biological family gets
It
me.
doesn't get easier.
It doesn't.
Yeah. And I tell you, we have to love hard. You know I left you for last.
Yes.
So your greatest joy need to make Opal smile.
They know that you love them,
Yeah.
Yeah. But they might respond to that in a different way. Maybe they're not going to give you the hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they know because they play with your emotions.
Yes. Greatest joy.
My greatest joy in what I do at SOS is seeing that all the sweat equity, all the long hours, I see the impact. And I know that impact it's not just for now.
It's
And
lasting.
it's not just a job. It's a purpose that I have. I've always wanted to work to the benefit of children. And now I'm getting to live that dream. Fundraising in a pandemic
Yes.
is not for the faint of heart at all. But the goodwill that SOS Jamaica has is the best part. You have people who 20 years ago came on the village for something, and then they have maybe some in-kind donations, and they just show up at the village with cases of water or a
Yes.
bounce house
Yes.
or whatever. Some people, oh gosh, I have to talk about this past child. The other day I was sitting at my desk and I got mail, like actual snail mail, and I opened it.
Letter with
It was a
envelope.
check
Yeah.
from a past SOS child, and he scribbled in, I know I was there, I remember the work that you did. And oh god, and I was a puddle.
All right. No crying on the morning connection.
I'm not crying, but it's just that
And my co-host, oh Lord, Pastor was here now and be mopping him up as we take the break.
But yes, the absolute best part is being able to make a positive impact
Yeah.
Yes.
in real time, no matter the challenge, no matter how I
You
mean,
know, I'm gonna release you from giving the greatest challenge. You know why? Because it's 8 o'clock and it's time for our break. Yes. Let me just say thank you to my guests from the SOS Children Village, Stony Hill.
Stony.
Yes, because there's Barreton and we're not.
and there's the national office. I'd like to say hi to my coworkers.
Well, I'm glad I reminded you.
Thank you very
Of the
much.
extended
Thank you very
family.
much for having us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I enjoy
Yeah,
it.
tell me about the mango. That mango is a different kind of mango. The
You know,
flavor of it
I
is
was wondering,
different.
This
Please do not ask me. I want to say it's mongrel mango.
no, yeah, this
That's a Jamaican mango.
them call them bastard mango. It's somewhere in between.
Yes, Lowell
Yeah,
gone political
it's
point. No
Indian
bastard.
and-
No,
you look at them plant a East Indian tree and then it bears
and then it,
something.
yes, it is the magic of nature, but it's
Yes.
delicious. All right, let's
Let me
take our
just
break.
say
Oh, yes,
right
go
before,
ahead.
if you want to get in contact with SOS, please
Oh,
go
yes.
on social media. Visit us at SOS Children Villages _ Jamaica on Instagram. You can call me at 564 668. You can WhatsApp me. You can look up on Google, call the village at Barreton, call the village at Stony Hill. We please,
Yes,
we need your
and
donation. We
this-
need your support.
Well, I'll let Miss Opal have the last word.
All the caregivers, all over.
all the aunties,
Not
big up
just
all
our
the
organization, but
caregivers.
it's all caregivers.
Yeah.
Care facility.
And Happy Herman
Yes.
Minor Day to all the SOS children villages around the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
We
boy.
are it's an absolute privilege to be part of this federation, and you know there's just so much more to come because you're going to join us at Stony Hill.
Yes, later today we're gonna be live streaming from Stony Hill. We're taking the pledges. We're gonna have some fun.
Yes.
And I know I'm to announce the number. What is the number? You wouldn't believe we had an
I have
hour.
it right here.
We had an
I
hour.
have it. So if you want to pledge support to the SOS Children Villages Jamaica, please WhatsApp or call 1-876-361-6583 and ask for Eden, because Eden is the one behind,
Yes.
the one behind the scenes who has been working all the magic. Thank you so much, Eden.
All right, the producer chased us off air.
Yeah, we have to go.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Welcome to the Ligony Club. This beautiful property is nestled in the heart of New Kingston and is the single largest sporting facility in the English-speaking Caribbean. JD's Urban Pub is our resident restaurant. You can trust them with all your catering requirements. Take advantage of our excellent amenities and allow yourself to be pampered by our courteous and efficient staff in the comfort of our well-appointed and welcoming public spaces. You are being invited to make this your home away from home. Take advantage of our full-service gymnasium. Our 8 tennis courts. Feel free to wander through the gardens and enjoy the relaxing atmosphere of this oasis that remains as charming today as when we first opened our doors in 1910, and our large-sized swimming pool. 6 squash courts. In the evenings, relax with us in the lobby bar and lounge. Call or visit us today. We're excited to meet you.
Good morning and welcome back. I am having a bonanza kind of morning because I've done a quick change of set, so to speak, and I now have some new people at the table. Of course, you know, it's difficult to come after the children because we just had the SOS Children's Village, which, by the way, you're my guests for later. The SOS Children's Village, we're just here, the Stony Hill Village. We had a mother, we had the village director, and we had the fundraising director who was just here. Hard act to follow, but you know, I only pick the best because I know you can match it. STEM Uprising, how's the morning?
Good, very good.
Beautiful day. Beautiful.
Yes. The Jamaican accents will tell you that these two are Jamaican born and bred, but now living in New York and doing some fantastic work. And they have managed to show you how good they are. They have managed to pull a doctor into the mix because with us, I want you to introduce your doctor and tell us why you chose this particular doctor to be with you this morning.
We're going to introduce Dr. Tamara Mackenzie. She is passionate about what she does. When you talk about kids and talk about sick and talk about somebody who want to do more than just being there for 8 or 12 hours, this is a doctor.
And you are fortunate to have her services at the Lionel Town Hospital.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Doc, please just greet my listeners who, one, I have a group of listeners online who are in a moment going to tell me how beautiful you are. So brace yourself, and the blessing is you look like my niece.
I thank them in advance.
Yes.
Well, I'm Dr. Tamara McKenzie. I'm the pediatrician for Lionel Town Hospital.
Yes.
And I have been there since the beginning of 2021. That would have been mid-pandemic.
Mid-pandemic.
Right, and that is where I actually met the STEM Uprising team.
Yes. All right. So, Akiba.
Yes.
Because I have to say a name. I mean, I can't believe a Jamaican mother down in where Clarendon
Yes.
named her daughter Akiba.
I say that
Because
every day.
it is just a prophetic, it modern, it ancient. There is just such a beautiful name. Mrs. Akiba Williams, welcome to the Morning Connection. And you look well rested. These two flew in yesterday, so they're in semi-quarantine. That's why we're doing it outdoors.
Okay.
I want you, the mother of STEM Uprising, to tell me a little bit about your organization.
STEM Uprising was found in, my husband and I came up with the idea to do something more for Jamaica, try our best. Because, we can't really reach everyone, but we try to reach as much as we
Many, yeah.
So we came up with the idea of launching a non-profit. We weren't sure how it would have turned out, but we put things in plan. They said behind a strong man, there's always a stronger woman. So I pick up the pace. I do what a mother would do, and you put things in place. And STEM Uprising was found in 2017, registers in 2018. We had our first blood drive at the Lionel Town Hospital in that same year, 2018. We also had our first back to school at the Water Lane Community Center. So from there, STEM Uprising been getting like other hospitals like Percy Junior Hospital want to be a part of what we're doing, because wherever STEM Uprising land,
It grows.
Yes.
Well,
people are-
so your husband, I want your husband to tell me why Lionel Town.
Well, it's obvious. I was born there. I was born there, and I witnessed some things at first hand that I didn't like. So my father had said to me, anything you're doing, find a solution. There's always
Don't just not like it. Do something about it.
and don't complain. If you find a solution, you start to do something. You say if you stand up, that's the only way you're gonna run. So,
Yes.
you can't sit and run. So, we come up with
You gotta get upright
Yeah.
and step into the position. It is uncanny, and those who have been listening to the program since morning, let me tell you, Wayne was not listening. But I just sent him the link before he walked in because he wanted to share it with some others. But I gotta tell you that point he just made, when you see something that disturbs your spirit, step into it and do what you can to change it. That's what we were talking about earlier, because I looked at what happened in Cocoa Peace, and I was saying that community should be in deep reflection right now and saying, did I see something? Did I miss a sign? Because you hear them saying things which tells you that there were cries for help and persons did not respond. So the idea that each person in whatever environment you find yourself should be wanting to take responsibility. That's at the base of STEM Uprising, wanting to make a change in the things that you saw. As I was speaking, I could see Dr. Tamara looking like that means something. What caught your attention?
The hope that others would take on this very same spirit so that we can have basic embetterment of our environs. And I'm not just talking from a health perspective. I mean, it spreads across all of the other
Everywhere.
systems that
Yes.
exist in the country.
Were you listening to my program on Tuesday?
I know I was
I know you weren't. Because I'm going to say, one of the reasons I repeat these things is because I want you to know that you're not alone with the thought that you're having. Every thought that you express, somebody else has had it. On Tuesday, I was talking about justice and recognizing that when somebody in the middle of saying we want better road and we want water and we want so and so, just immediately say we want justice. It's because in our hearts, all of us know that justice is not about what happened to you in court or with the police or whatever. the administration of everything, every relationship that you're in, there is justice. If I sit too close to you and don't respect your space, you want justice. And it is a cry for justice. So the point you just made about really justice, that's what we were talking about on Tuesday, recognizing that there's justice in health, there's justice in giving, there's justice in taking, there's justice in participating. As you have done, you've created a charity and you call it STEM Uprising. What does STEM mean?
The meaning of STEM is striving together, empowering mankind.
Nice.
And the way we came up with STEM, my husband and I, we have 7 lovely children.
How many?
I'm sorry, how
7.
many?
And almost 8 grandkids, and we're very proud. So STEM Uprising, we choose a letter from about 4 of the kids' name and put it together, and we sit around the table with the kids and we're like, okay, so we take S from Shanique, T from Tiffany, E from Emmanuel, and M from Michael. And they said STEM, and we're like, what would that mean? And we debate. The kids are so involved.
Yes.
Our daughter Tiffany was the youngest blood donor. She is eager, always helping. Even though she's in college studying for law, she makes sure that she do her part. And that is something that we want them to know, that you have to learn to give back to one.
I need to share a nugget. Everybody try to find the fountain of life and try to figure out, well, how do I live longer and look young? Apparently, it is to start a charity. Because when I hear talk about grandchildren, and I look at the 2 people who are at the table, okay, Tamara, you tell me.
My darling, I have no. But we're not going to discuss my age or how long I've been.
Oh, not mine either.
No.
But I need to start a charity. Is what it says.
Can I ask how long you been a doctor?
For 20 years.
See? And apparently you also need to do medicine.
No, I promise you that is not the way to go for you. It is not.
The list is growing. So, yes.
You know what? For me personally, starting STEM Uprising and giving back and seeing the impact and the joy, it just make my heart, you say your heart grows big,
Yes.
extra big.
And when
I
your heart
just-
grow extra
yes.
big, and all that
lot
fresh oxygenated blood, everything look younger.
Yes.
I tell you, that is the way to go. So you've chosen Lioneltown because that's your birthplace, but I see that you have extended to Percy Junior Hospital. Was that just the neighboring parish get envious, or there's a connection to Manchester as well?
Well, one of my favorite lady, who is my paralegal, Jasmine Alex.
I know that name.
You know, yeah.
I think I know her.
She's the one who helped me with the foundation, and she said, you gotta do where I'm from.
In fact, the very hospital in which she was born.
Found
Yes.
that out.
Yeah. Yes.
She said, you gotta do where I'm from. And from there, we went there and we was impressed with the staff, you know, CEO, Mr. Nicholson. But Dr. Chang, a friend of mine said to me, all Dr. Chang need is a wing. He's an angel on earth.
On earth, yeah. Oh, you know Dr. Chang
He's
as
my
well.
best friend.
So how is it now that Dr. Tamara from Lioneltown and Dr. Chang at Percy Junior are best friends? Is there a network or that?
Actually, we did our first degrees.
I'm gonna
in
beg you
Cuba.
to hold the microphone a little closer.
We both did our first degrees in Cuba. Not that we had met there either, because I was a few years ahead of him. But for a short time, I was at Percy Junior Hospital for 3 years, and there I met the angel.
Yeah.
And he's also my son's godfather. Yes.
Oh, so it's real family connection.
And more than family.
Yeah.
He calls my mom.
Okay. So I clearly you have the personality as well as the training for the business that you're in. But I'd like for you to talk a little bit about what kind of environment you're offering services in, because a charity being involved, and there may be other charities that want to participate. What do you see around you in both Lioneltown proper and the hospital itself?
All right. Lioneltown has its challenges. It is a vastly under-resourced community. That being said, you can imagine that it extends to the hospital as well. And when you have bigger players like Mapen Hospital, that's in very close proximity,
It's a competition
there's
for
competitive
resources.
nature.
Yeah.
And of course, because they're larger and they have more resources naturally, they tend to benefit more from philanthropists and donors, etc.
Yes.
So I'm particularly thankful to groups like STEM, for which they are from the soil, from Clarendon, that they empathize, sympathize, and understand the needs that exist. The community has its challenges, depravity being one of them. We had industry, for example, Money Musk was there and they had that whole estate going, but it's been closed down for some
a
years
while,
now. So
yes.
that has taken away some of the employment.
And the income.
The
money.
Employment and as such, the income that would have prevailed in the citizens there. So we are...
So it's mostly a farming community right now, is that it?
Farming and fishing, because
And fishing,
beside we have
by the
Rocky
by the
Point
sea.
and Portland Cottage and all of those communities who depend predominantly on fishing for income. So we do have unique challenges.
But it's a public hospital.
It is.
So persons coming in don't pay for services, but there's some minimum charge that they have to meet typically, or...
That has changed for some time now. The governments have changed that.
Previous administrations.
Right.
And,
so there is no cost, and we have a lot of... We are really trying with healthcare, but the truth is, because we are under-resourced, you have basic limitations, ambulance limitations. So yes, we have one ambulance, but imagine if you have two emergencies.
You have to choose where to go.
And
those are tough choices.
Right. You don't want to be making those calls at all.
And then so I can see that the problems in the environment would naturally be reflected in the hospital.
And so the health of the population as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a dentist friend who said he can always tell when Jamaicans are going through hard times. He gets no business. The teeth are not a priority.
No, they're not.
Yes, nobody's coming to look after their teeth when they have to be buying food. So I get what you're saying. How has this charity been a blessing to Lionel Town?
Well, let me tell you, I love them. So last year, in the heights of COVID, we had a high-flow nasal oxygen, but it stopped working, and we had challenges to get it fixed. Now a high-flow nasal oxygen is what we use. All right, let's not get into the clinical aspect of it. But
everybody couldn't breathe and needed to breathe.
Thank you.
Yes, so that piece of equipment.
Nasal oxygen is what, because typically your whole oxygen and the oxygens that we have based on the tanks, they can't exceed a particular amount. But high flow can give us all the way up to 60 liters of oxygen per minute, when you would have been limited to about 15 before. My loves.
Yes.
Last year, in the heights of it, when it was the worst we'd ever seen. People were dropping like flies. They offered one to us, and I'm telling you, I cannot tell you guys how many lives you've saved.
Please do not cry. Did you hear me tell the others there's to be no crying?
Because see, those pimples and my fears are very, very close.
All right, so the producer is giving you a break, so we can take a break so we can cool down on set.
I was just gonna. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not looking at you because I could see that.
We're on break, yes? Not yet.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with
Good morning and welcome back. Speaking in a somber tone, may I just say, we did another set change. I said I would explain that the doctors, they're gone off to cry. No, the three persons who were here just now, frontline workers, all of them. One from Jamaica, Dr. Tamara, the other two, New York. So you can imagine they had started to talk about the containers of COVID, those who didn't make it. So I've sent them off to cool down because, of course, I know I had Ruth Lynn Johnson sitting in the wings looking beautiful in red. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Our JPS partner continues to deliver. Let me tell you something. This must be some kind of cosmic punishment that I am falling in love with JPS. It is not right.
Yes.
It is not right,
It
people.
is
I'm
right.
telling you, no, it's not right. Don't try to.
Energy, good energy. The company that gives you convenience.
I know, even the producer is
making your life
surprised.
better.
So the producer says he's aghast. JPS has won. No, people. Listen, I have been a staunch opponent of JPS for many years. Many years. But between, well, I've got to say, now you have just been the icing on the cake. Welcome to the Morning Connection, Miss Ruthlyn.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, well.
And I'm so happy to hear that you are being
I fall in love.
converted.
Can you imagine?
Yes, ma'am, because
Tell
we
you.
evangelize, you know.
You are definitely evangelizing on this program. When I invited, when I pitched my proposal, or when the team pitched to Winsome and said, do something with us, and she said yes, and she made it possible, I never envisaged this is where it was going. I certainly thought I would be converting JPS. JPS, I convert
But
me.
there are things
What a
for you to
something.
be converted to.
Yes. So welcome.
Come along, producer.
Yes, you gotta work on the two producers. But you've been doing some marvelous work in the field.
Right.
We've had your colleague come to us at about 3 times, I think. About 3 weeks, we had Marilyn McDonald, who has spoken about the social intervention initiatives, and of course we had Winsome visit with us at least twice. Now Winsome is a hard act to follow on any day, and this morning she has sent you to me, so that tells me now she kick it up a serious notch. Tell us about your portfolio, because it starts with customer service. And I know Jamaican customers are not easy, myself
Some people are
included.
going to see me today for the first time and realize who she
Who
is.
the voice behind the
So I'm
service?
Ruthlyn Johnson. I'm the
Yes.
customer service area manager for Area East. Area East is Kingston,
Oh Lord.
St. Andrews,
Yes.
and St. Thomas.
My area. Oh, really east for true.
I have the
The land of the rising sun.
Largest number of customers. And
Yes.
I have the uptown customers and I have the customers.
So you have diversity.
So I have a very interesting group of people to relate to.
Mm.
And then because I'm based at the Ruthven Road office, I
Yes.
see customers from all across the country.
Oh, true, because the journey to come
Right,
into
so
the
you
head
come
of the
to
beast.
Kingston to do, yes, and you come, and a lot of people think Ruthven Road is the head office. I don't know why.
No, that's the head of the beast.
If they come to Kingston to do something from Westmoreland,
Yes, and they just want to stop by.
So anywhere they come from, you know, I'm gonna stop by the JPS office and do
Mm-hmm.
something today. So I see customers from everywhere.
You know, I think it is a great sleight of hand by your corporate head office that Ruthven office is perceived to be the head office.
I don't know if we even did anything.
No.
I don't think it was intentional. Somehow persons just think that this is where
Yes.
you go for everything. And sometimes when they're there, when they come there, they actually they really should be at the head
At the
office.
head
And you say to
office.
them, no, this is not the head office. So weird. So where is the head office then?
We just assume it's where Miss Ruthlyn work, at the head office. But tell me, what is the, as you know, the expression Grundnorm came into my head. That is like out of sociology in the
Which you're going to have to explain to me what that means.
the Grund, basic, base, foundation, norm, principle.
The basic principle of
Customer service, of JPS's customer service.
well,
Throw that German word out of
Okay.
your head.
so the basic principle of customer service for JPS, and I know there are going to be some people right over there going,
Oh, writing it down so they can sue you.
It's not being cynical, like really. The thing is, we really, really care about our customers. We make. You heard the laughter?
I know this.
we-
Why are people laughing?
And I know this. You heard what I said. They're going to be some cynics, and they're going to be reactive.
Yes,
But it's
but-
okay.
But can I
Okay, it's okay.
but can I tell you what our
Listen a
two
minute.
on our two diners in the pavilion looked up? I think that the
We
one lady
really,
is
really, and
looking.
I'm going to repeat it.
You
we really,
care about your
really
customers.
Care about our customers.
Because if we
The
die, you don't
challenge
get any
is-
money.
The challenge is. I'm not listening to me right now. No.
But it's true. You gotta keep
So
us
the challenge
alive.
Is that it's an expensive commodity,
Yes.
and unlike your watch, because people go and buy a $1 million, $2 million watch, right?
Watch.
And they
Yeah.
wear it,
Yes.
and it's okay, and they feel the value of it. The thing is that you take JPS's service for granted.
Yes.
So
That
it's
is
only
true.
when you don't have it that it becomes a problem. So if there's an outage or if you get disconnected, God forbid,
Yes.
then you have a problem, because outside of that you really take it for granted, because you wake up, you turn on the light comes on, you plug in your phone or you charge it and it's okay. Your child goes on the laptop or the game, whatever game machine they have, and they play the game.
Yes.
So it's a commodity that's taken for granted. So because it's so expensive, it's an issue. Like, why should it be so expensive when it's something that you don't even, it's not tangible.
Yeah.
You can't see it, you look at the watch and you see the watch, but you don't see the electricity. So it doesn't have that kind of value that it should have for persons. Yet we are the company that gives you convenience. We give you the opportunity to have romance. I mean, we turn on that love music, you get your thing going.
I know most people like romance in the dark.
You shouldn't be. You should see what you're doing. You when you go to exercise, you have those machines that help you to exercise.
Yes, and keep track of everything.
Basically,
It makes
runs
life
your
easier.
life.
So you are zeroing in.
Critical to what you do.
Yeah,
And because of that, we care about the customers, because we always want to make sure that you have power. So even when we do a maintenance outage, persons think that we turn off the power. We're maintaining the thing to make sure that you
So it
get
can
the service,
have,
it's
absolutely.
reliable. And then there are other times when somebody hits down a pole.
Yes.
Oh God, but people just always think we turn off the power.
That
Why would we
GPS.
turn off the power?
And it done all day.
If we don't turn off the power, the meters would not be working. It means we're
Right.
not making money. So why would we turn off the power?
That's true. All of it requires, yes, mature understanding and reflection, but you're zeroing in on the necessity of electricity. It is one of those commodities that is now really essential to life in a modern society.
Right.
It's right there.
And with
In fact, as I said,
digital and technology.
the only thing that is running neck and neck with it probably is data, internet access.
Right.
I mean, because water, if you stand up long enough, rain will fall and you can.
I love this lady. Stand up long enough.
Rain will fall on you.
Rain dance.
Well, some can hire a few dancers, but you're right. It is a necessity for modern living, and therefore, both the provider and the customers have to have a better understanding of how you keep it going.
My view and my approach, even from my portfolio, is really to get customers to have an understanding. For me, it's a relationship.
Yes.
So you and I, Minute, we're in a relationship. That's
Absolutely. Whether we
And it's just that sometimes you don't understand. You got into this relationship with me and you don't understand some things that you should.
Right.
So I have a responsibility to you, and there are responsibilities
Yes.
that you have to me as well in this relationship. So when I get persons who are angry and annoyed and things, my job is to educate them.
yes,
to bring
because that
awareness into the
means
mix
they've
so
been
that they-
disappointed in the relationship.
Because sometimes they're complaining about stuff that there's something that they didn't do. And it's for me to get them to understand
Yes.
the nature of the relationship, because especially now that we're online, we're doing a lot of things online. You're even setting up accounts right now. You're not even going face to face.
Right.
So you don't get an opportunity to talk to somebody to say, okay, what are some of the things I should know about this
So
relationship?
so
that we
for
have?
you, the human element in the relationship continues to be important.
It's important for me. I don't
Yes.
know if there's anybody else in JPS who it's not important to. It's important to me.
How do you strive to maintain that contact in the increasingly digital age? Because I tell you, I've called the different lines and I get the recordings because everybody's using an IVR of some sort.
We have automated
And then there's the automated response and the music that plays for half an hour. And I mean, by the time, if it is deliberate, it works. By the time you hear a human voice, you're just overjoyed.
All right. Now I'm
So
going to
how
tell
are you maintaining that element of the human contact?
So we maintain the human element by having a call center that is
Real people.
that has real people sitting in there. The challenge that you experience, Minute, comes from the time of day most times when you try to make contact. I
Yes.
find that when customers call us between, say, 8:30 to like 4 o'clock, it's a long queue.
Yes.
You're waiting in a queue. If you call us after, say, 7 o'clock,
I'm first in the
you
line.
get to it very quickly.
So,
I encourage
yeah.
customers to do that. At the same time, the IVR does have automated responses, because there are persons among us, like maybe your producer sitting over there who's on her phone from the time I come here. Maybe she doesn't want to talk to a person.
Yes.
She just wants to say, here, press 1 for that, press 2 for
Right,
that, do her
right.
thing, and she's gone.
And you're gone.
You and my other friend here may want to talk to a warm body. So
Alright.
they are there, but
She's making some generation type
it
comments
is.
here.
I like face to face. I'm a communicator, so I
Yeah.
love face to face interaction, because nothing beats looking in your eyes and realizing that you don't understand what I'm saying, so that I can clarify. And,
You can close the gap.
reiterate. So yes, we do have those persons there, and even on our digital platforms, for example, on the mobile app, we do have live chat on the mobile app where you can actually talk to
ask-
somebody
yeah,
back and forth, just
right.
as how you do on
Yes,
WhatsApp.
yes.
And then we do our mobile offices where we go out in our communities so we can meet with people. They say press flesh. We can go out and meet with persons. They can talk to us. So we do have that as well. We do maintain.
Can
a
I
lot of
ask you,
different ways that we persons can talk to us.
are you having like an aging population of customers, or you're,
Yes, we do.
yeah,
In
because I just want to know how you're experiencing that transition to the more digital experience for
We're
customer
having
service.
We're having a challenge with our senior citizens.
There's no reason to laugh, but I could just tell that.
It's interesting. You have a few in the mix who are wanting to say that I'm with
I mean,
it.
I'm on top of
So they're
things.
coming in and saying, I want to learn about this app thing and I want to do it. And then I'm going to ask my grandchild to assist me with it. So you have a few of those. But then the majority of them really are, they're not angry, they understand that the world is
Has
going in a
moved,
particular
yes.
direction and they're a
Yes.
little bit worried about themselves. So they do try, but they still come in person. And sometimes I'm concerned about them because some of them are really in a state where they shouldn't be out on the road.
Oh, yes, but
And they-
GPS is
and I worry-
important.
And I worry
So
about
they-
them, how they manage to navigate their way
Even
around
just
the streets.
public transportation
just like that.
and the roadways.
But
Yeah.
they do come in our office, in fact, of all the areas that we have. So, we have area northeast, west, and
Yes.
south. Area east, my
Yes,
area
yes.
gets the most
Foot traffic,
foot
people
traffic
coming
from
in.
the elderly
Yeah.
coming in,
Yeah.
despite things going in a particular
In a
direction. But when
digital,
they come
yeah.
in, we do accommodate them because we have seats for them.
Right. And,
And
so you do
we give them
care and
face-to-face
show the
service
care.
For the most part, we have somebody who is assigned to give them face-to-face service and not force them to go
into the
on there.
digital route.
Right.
One of the I found it mildly entertaining. Arriving at the airport, like in the immigration, the hall, and seeing the digital, kind of check yourself in stations
I've seen.
and watching the people looking at it like,
Wondering what is this?
why is it here? So I go close, stand by it.
Like, wait, they gonna bite me kind of thing.
I know. Shouldn't say it, but
It's an interesting time.
it
that
is
we're
an
in,
interesting time
and
in
even
which we're living.
myself, I think of what's gonna happen like in 2029, 2030.
Yeah,
Am I gonna be able to
10, 15
function?
years
Because
from now.
I'm honestly thinking that we're going to be able to like touch her over there, and she's in Linstead. Things are going at a pace that is.
Yes.
Wake up this morning and this thing that just came yesterday and is there is no longer.
It's obsolete.
Outdated.
Obsolete.
In a flash. So
And
it's something to think about.
So that leads me to, in your customer service portfolio, you obviously have to be addressing these challenges that come with an aging population and fast-moving technology, and even some of the environmental issues, reducing your carbon footprint in a country with, an economy that will not allow persons to rapidly transition to electric cars or to, solar panels and so on. I'm curious just to get your perspective on how you handle these shifts and make sure that the customer whom you care about, and I accept that because you converted me. The customers whom you care about are able to keep pace with you, not get left behind, and at the same time still be responsive to some of the pressures. I know summer is here. Even myself, I'm looking at the AC longingly and saying, I need more of you. But how are we going to do it? How do you manage some of those areas, and what advice are you sharing with us this morning?
The thing is, for customers, is for them to understand that first and foremost, let's not pretend, let's not hide away. Electricity is expensive. And it's more so expensive now since the
war in Ukraine and supply chain problems generally after
so right now,
pandemic.
electricity is about $66 per kilowatt.
Moving from what?
Moving from about 40 something.
Oh my.
Yes. So it's gone there.
Yes.
The fuel rate on your bills this month is $31 and change. And that has actually climbed a little bit. In February, it went up to $36 per kilowatt. That's for your fuel rate.
Just for fuel.
That's for fuel on your bill. And it means the thing not cheap. It
Yeah.
means that if you had paid like about $8,000 for, say, 210 kilowatts last year, this time, you're probably
This
paying
year.
almost about maybe $13,000,
$14,000.
$14,000 for
Yeah.
that same
Yes,
amount of electricity.
right. You've done nothing except got older.
Exactly, and that's why I tell people, because they come in and they say, "I've not done anything different. I don't." And I say, "I know you probably have not done a thing different, except that the prices of fuel
Yes.
and the conversion of the US dollar have changed, and so you are now paying more for maybe the same amount of electricity." I tell my customers also, you will never pay the same figure for your light bill if you use the same exact amount of kilowatt hours every month, you'll never pay the same amount. It will either be a little bit
More or less.
or a little bit more.
Those
So
variables
don't say
are
use
not
120
within.
every month and why it changes. You'll never.
Yeah.
Because the fuel rate changes every month and the US dollar value changes every month, right? Now, because of all of that, so you can't control the prices. And if you don't have solar, and if you don't have a river running by, you're not using hydro, and if you don't have 10 cows in your backyard, so you're using biogas kind of thing, it means you're tapping onto our grid. And it means you have to understand the relationship. So what I want you to do is use energy wisely. So it's summertime. Summer is coming up. The AC is going to be the favorite thing. I hear you say you're looking at it with that longing desire.
Oh yes.
I want
And
to
then
be
when I
with
wake
you.
up early in the morning
Yeah.
and it's still on, I'm like, oh dear God, we didn't.
No, up to the timer. Where's your timer?
Yes, but I wake up. When you wake up, you're not even quite sure what time it
the
is.
timer
But
from
your
you.
first thought is, have I burned too much electricity while I was
You worked all
sleeping?
night. I can tell you, minute, it's not very pretty. The bill now.
No, it is not all night. It's real early morning.
What I do these days, because the mornings are hot as well. So while I'm getting ready,
Yes, to
Yeah.
get the excellence in place.
I have a fan now, a roving fan in my house. So you can stay there. I carry the fan around with me. So when I'm in the bathroom doing the titivating and stuff,
Yes.
the fan is plugged in right there and doing the thing. So I'm under the fan, and when I move to the bedroom, I carry that.
Carry the
I have a roving fan because I have an AC. I have AC in my house, but I don't.
Yes,
turn it on
you
because
can.
I know the
Yeah.
cost of electricity. I don't want to pay for it, and I always tell people, even though they like to talk about JP's employees get discount, yeah, but the difference is the discount come out of my salary before I get my salary.
Yes.
So I don't have an option to say like some
Yes.
people are going to pay.
Yes.
Pay the light bill later. I have to pay
Yeah.
it. It comes out
Yeah.
up front. So,
So wisely.
Let's talk about the wise
Using
usage of
wisely.
electricity.
Yes.
It's summertime. COVID was here, so we were locked up in the house. I want us to come out, go outside. Everybody said we're outside. I want us all to go outside and enjoy yourself. So take yourself outside and start enjoying the outdoors. So that means you're not in the house utilizing all them things that are in the house. Go outside with the children, have some fun. Stop using the air conditioning units. Cut down on the opening of the refrigerators because the children, when they're at home,
they
open the
don't want all
refrigerator.
kind of
The more
icy.
you open the refrigerator, the more warm air gets into
Gets
the
in.
chamber, the harder the fridge works. So you want to cut that down. You also want to pack ice and juices and stuff in an igloo. Invest in a
Yes, a
large-size
small.
igloo.
Yes,
Pack
that's
everything in there.
certainly a good suggestion.
Forget the fridge, and then you just take things from the igloo.
Right.
It means you're cutting down on how much warm air enters the chamber of the refrigerator, so it doesn't work over time. Those pool pumps, you need to know that they, pool pumps, any kind of pumps you have,
Yes.
they usually burn a little bit of electricity. So you want to probably go to the beach instead and leave the pool.
Can you imagine summers when you close your pool? The beach, you start a whole new argument
to the
there now
beach.
because people gonna start ask which beach because the government don't sell all the beaches.
There are a few. There are a few.
We're gonna have to do a whole show on what beach you can
Go
find.
to the beach. and
Yes.
Cut down on the amount of time you spend in the pool. And we're not telling people not to enjoy the things that you have at home for convenience, but I want us to have a consciousness where I will decide that I want to pay for it. For example, if you decide, Minute, that you're going to use your AC, pay for
Know
the
that
AC,
we're gonna-
spend money
yes.
on the AC, but cut
And
down
swap
on
out something else.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's how what.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah,
I want you to
yes.
be conscious about how you use this stuff. You also want to not leave the fans just running because fans don't cool rooms. Fans blow hot air from around you. So leaving a fan on in a room is a waste of
If no one is there.
If no one is in there, you let it blow on you when you're in the room. So turn it off as soon as you're walking away. And then when you come back, it blows the hot air from around you. That's what a fan does. People like to leave it in there thinking it's cooling on the room. The room is just it's just swirling the hot air on around. So don't leave your fan on. And then you want to make sure that because you're on the outside also, the television sets are not running. And you wanna keep the children away, and the gadgets are also not operating. So for this summer we're saying unplug and chill out outside.
Unplug and chill out.
Both you
Yes.
and the appliances, and chill out on the outside. We want you to go feel the sand in your toes.
That's a
between your
nice
toes.
campaign, actually.
Enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Grounding yourself. You're putting your bare feet on the sand and feeling the sand. She's looking at me intently, because she's gonna be doing this. Yeah, your husband going to
Selfies.
be
She'll
on
do
this.
selfies on
Yeah.
the beach.
Take time to connect with your youth.
Yes.
Time to connect with the youth. Go to one house and go buy some ice cream and sit down and talk with the youth. Find out what are your dreams and goals.
Yes.
Where you wanna go,
Let
where you
Devon
wanna
House burn the electricity and pay
go
the bill.
somewhere and use
Other
people
people's
over there.
electricity.
Look, they're over there. They're using
Light
Club
and-
light right now. They're not paying for it.
No,
Well,
but
they might be paying in their subscription.
they definitely will be paying in the
Date night
price
is
of the
here.
food.
Couples,
Yes,
go out with
yes,
Huzzy
yes.
and have a meal at the restaurant.
And use their electricity.
Connect. Bring on the intimacy, bring on the connection between you and the Huzzy, and burn for them.
Yes, I'm liking
Electricity.
I'm liking the other man's
So we
electricity.
want you to unplug
Yes.
and unplug your appliances,
So
unplug yourself, and get yourself.
I have to ask. I have to ask you.
Yes, let's hear it.
What that unplug campaign, I love the fact that it is giving a priority to healthy activities, and I mean you could choose any kind of campaign.
Yes.
What's the thought process behind a campaign like that? What did you all sit in a room and say, this
Well,
is
I must confess I wasn't in the room.
yes.
But if I know Winsome and my team very well,
Yes.
I know that they would want to connect the communication with something that's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fact that we were in COVID and people are really excited about this. We outside content.
Yes.
Outside. I know they
Yes.
want it. They would want to connect.
Yeah,
the
it
fact
has-
that we're outside and
it has
utilize that
heart.
outside to benefit you in terms of reducing the amount of money that you're spending.
No, it has
on
heart,
electricity.
and I would say it is a tick in the box when you say you care about your customers,
do.
wanting healthy Jamaicans, wanting persons to find
I'm looking if there's any
alternatives.
reaction.
No, I think you converted them. No, that is a good campaign.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a good
And
campaign.
It's really to have our customers use electricity, enjoy the benefit of it, and not scream and bawl when they get their
Yes.
bills. And just to make a plug right here that if you want to be able to manage yourself even better, we have the prepaid option for customers.
Oh yes, I'm loving that one. I just
you
haven't
have
found
it?
my way onto it yet. Not
You're-
yet.
okay.
I gotta convince the team.
It works. Customers who go prepaid usually attest to the fact that they spend
They feel
about
greater
35% less on electricity because you decide, you know,
Conscious.
you purchase
Yep.
$6,000 worth of credit and you put it on your meter and you say to the children, let me tell you something in here. I'm not spending $1 more.
Wear it, Margaret.
And
Pop.
because you have the little device that you can watch, you're seeing your 200, 199, 198. When it reach a point, you say, don't open the fridge again. No, we're not washing no clothes until next week.
Yes,
We're washing
when we
everything
put
one
on
time.
more, yes.
Do not run the washing machine. And people are able to manage themselves. And because of that, when it comes down to the point now where them hearing the beep, 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 mean is it low? Them say, all right, we're going to wash with our hand. we're going to plug out the fridge.
You
and
find
cut
new
it
ways
and
to
don't
do
put
old
it in back
things.
at 6 in the morning.
Yes.
And they hold on to that little bit and they make it serve them.
Yes.
So people do attest to spending less rather than just using, and then we get a bill. Yeah.
I like the fact that it's giving genuine power,
Power in
and in the hands, and it's teaching a bit of financial literacy too,
Yeah.
because the value of a dollar
Budgeting
just take
and
on
things,
more.
right.
Yes, yeah. Those are real excellent points. I'm just thinking. No, I got the break signal, so
We're on a break or we're done? Which one?
I think we're done.
The
What
30
time is
minutes
it?
Done already?
Listen to me. It's been 30 minutes.
Get ready for talk.
It means you have to come back.
I could do part two.
Yes. Listen, we work hard at making sure that everybody wants to come back.
Right, because I'd love to get into, the specifics, how much this refrigerator
Yes.
runs and how much it would cost.
No, you have to come back, please.
So I can come back to give the specifics about the different appliances. and how
Yes,
much they
please.
actually-
I would love that. I mean, every time Winsome teach something here, people are transformed by the knowledge of how you can
And that will
exercise.
build the relationship that
Yes.
we have with our customers, and
Yes.
that's something that I want.
And it means you would invest in me because I am opening the door to the ears of the
yes.
listeners who,
Right.
yes. So you see, a partnership.
Right.
Thank you.
All around.
Yes.
Thank you
It's
so
been
much
a
for
real
having me.
pleasure.
Remember, unplug, enjoy outside,
Yes.
and spend
See, like
less-
what we are doing.
less on, yeah.
We are
Yeah.
enjoying outside.
Right.
All right, please stay with us. We're going to take a short break and then we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And thank you for staying with us. And I see that the STEM team is getting some whole heap of love. Is this family because it's a Michelle Williams?
Oh.
I'm going to accept that it may be family.
Maybe.
Maybe, but lots of love we're getting. Yeah, and well, Miss Ruth Lynn got some love too, but you know she was the powerhouse that was here. And you made a good connection with JPS, didn't you? Welcome back, STEM.
Oh yes, surely did.
Yeah,
JPS gonna help us to help the community.
I have no doubt they are doing some interesting things, and just like the partnership we were talking about before you all collapsed in tears and had to leave the set. And I'm glad I see some smiles now. We were talking about the way you partnered with Lionel Town. A lot of our corporate citizens are now seeing that their survival is tied up with the well-being of their customers, and they have to care about what's happening in the communities. They can't just expect you to, pay the bills and move along as if life isn't happening around you. So at the hospital and with what you do, obviously you see that firsthand. I mean, all the people who will never take a holiday, if them fall sick, they gotta make time to heal. The partnerships we were talking, Dr. Tamara, before we left, we were talking about the partnership and how STEM has been a blessing, and you spoke about that one piece of equipment.
They continue to be a blessing, actually, because in August we have a blood drive and a fun day for children.
Yes.
That day I'm going to dedicate the entire day to doing school medicals. We're going to be doing health checks. Yes. So by extension, we'll have, bounce about, giving toys and books and backpacks. And we're hoping that we can extend it to some care packages. Once it is that the budget extends to it, we hope that we can create care packages. So not only are they going to come away with
some useful items for back to school,
right,
but they will have some like sanitary and well-being.
We're hoping to give
food in the care package. Yes,
because that is another focus of ours. It's nutrition. They could not have been included in the last nutrition symposium I had, which I had one in April, at the end of April.
So I am liking the sound of that. It sounds like you are extending your medical care to getting some community capacity building, and so you're focusing on nutrition. I guess you see the children come in and children not cooking for themselves or buying food, so it must mean something not working right in the home. And you innovate and host your own symposium.
Oh yes, we
right there in Lionel Town.
Right there on the hospital.
On the hospital compound.
Right there on the grounds. Yes.
Okay, and so when is the next one?
That's December. Yes. It's December the 14th that we're going to have that one.
Sound like STEM have it in their diary.
Yes.
And them love come home.
Yes, we love Jamaica.
It's a bonus to come home.
Yes, so at that day we'll be doing this whole Santa Claus bait and giving toys to the kids. So what we do is we combine it with my clinic days so that the children benefit, because Akiba is quite passionate about the children. And everybody will benefit, because nutrition and health education is important. So that's what we want to broaden the base a little bit. Let's try and avoid persons coming to us unwell at the hospital.
Yes, catch it before. Prevent is better than cure.
Right. Prevent.
So when is medicine. Let's get the date of the back to school open clinic day. What date is that?
The 19th of August.
19th of August.
And there's a blood giving drive. Let's not forget that.
So bring your blood. And
man. Come with your veins. Come well hydrated.
Yes.
We're not just, on that day, we're not just having a blood drive and a back to school, but we're having goodies. Wherever STEM goes, there's always goodies. So
well, let me see where the goodies are, because STEM is here.
You're not coming and leaving
empty-handed. Yes.
We always have gentle-to-use clothes. We have toys, essential, whatever we can get our hand on.
You bring it.
Donors donate, we will bring it.
All right. So it's also a good day then for persons who want to partner with you to find you and make a pledge or make themselves, available to be a part of what you're doing.
Most definitely.
Okay. Dr. Tamara, you wanted to wrap up on that. I can tell.
No. I leave that to them. Because, Right, I leave that to them because I have now been included in their group as one of their volunteers. So
we welcome you.
All right, the Mr. Williams, you grew up in Lionel Town. At what age did you leave?
20.
At age, so you got your manhood. I mean, you were a young adult getting out.
Yes, when I leave Valley, they have 2 kids, so I was a man.
At 20, you had 2 kids.
Oh, I'm
so that
sorry.
explains. So yeah, you were a man facing the responsibilities of
Yes.
father as
Yes.
well. What has it meant for you to be able to return to Lionel Town, and what changes you see, and how are you influencing some of what's to come in the future for your community?
Well, what kind of influenced me is I've been working in the hospital and see